Hello, my dear friends. Today, a story about love, mistakes, and coming home.
Once, in a land of rolling green hills and golden sunsets, there lived a kind father and his two devoted sons. They lived a life of peace and plenty, working the fertile soil together under the watchful eye of the warm sun. But the younger son grew restless, dreaming of a life beyond the horizon, filled with the excitement of the great city. One day, he approached his father, asking for his share of the inheritance. The father's heart sank, but his love remained steadfast. With a heavy bag of gold and eyes full of wonder, the young man set out on the long road away from home. In the city, he lived like a king. Every night was a festival, and every stranger seemed like a lifelong friend. He threw his wealth away on fleeting pleasures, never giving a thought to the family he had left far behind. But the gold eventually ran dry. As his wealth vanished, so did the friends who had once crowded his table. Alone and penniless, a great famine swept across the land. The young man found himself hungry and desperate for any work. He ended up in a muddy farm, feeding pigs just to survive. He looked at their simple food and envied them. In the cold silence of the barn, he remembered his father's house, where even the lowest servants lived better than this. "I will go home," he whispered. "I will tell my father I have sinned, and ask only to be his servant." The journey back was long and weary. Every step was heavy with the weight of his regret and his shame. But his father had never stopped watching. Every day, he looked toward the horizon, hoping for a miracle. From far off, the father saw him. He didn't wait, he didn't judge. He simply began to run. The father threw his arms around his ragged son, weeping with a joy that washed away all the bitterness of the past. "Father, I am not worthy," the son cried. But the father only called for the finest robe and a ring. A grand feast was prepared. The house filled with music and laughter, celebrating the return of the one who was lost. But outside, the older brother stood in the shadows. He felt the sting of injustice and refused to enter the celebration. The father came out to him, explaining that while he was always loved, it was right to rejoice for a brother's return. For love is not a tally of deeds, but a bridge that leads us home when we lose our way.
You see, my dear friends, no matter how far we go, no matter what mistakes we make, love is always waiting for us.